Listen to me. There's an invisible force dictating 90% of your results, your money, your respect, and your power. It's not the system. It's not luck. It's a controller embedded deep inside you, and most men never even realize it's there. It's inside your own head. Your mind is either forging you into a goddamn weapon built for victory, or it's the invisible chain shackling you to a life of pathetic mediocrity. It's either the rocket fuel pushing you past everyone, or the dead weight sinking you into the swamp where the losers drown. And here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to hear, especially the complainers. If you're sitting there broke, feeling powerless, and wandering around like some lost little NPC sheep, just look in the mirror. That reflection is the source of the problem. It's your programming, your weak mindset, and your lack of discipline that built the prison you're crying about. All your sob stories are irrelevant. Daddy didn't love you. You were born on the wrong side of the tracks. Nobody cares. Whining about circumstances is the anthem of the eternal losers. Your current state, your bank account, your physique, and your status are a direct printout of what's running inside your mind. Second you finally grasp that, the second you stop blaming the world like a child, is the precise moment you seize the controls. Quit the victim narrative because it's poisonous. Dropping that pathetic script isn't just step one, it is the ignition switch for winning. Ask yourself this: are you programming your mind for absolute dominance, for strength, for victory, or are you letting it decay into a cesspool of weakness and excuses? You either build a weapon or remain the target. The choice is yours. And here's the brutal truth most of you can't handle. The path of least resistance always leads straight to mediocrity. It's easy to whine. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to snooze and drown in self-pity. That requires zero fucking effort. But winning and forging an existence of sheer power requires work. Real painful work. And that's why the winner's circle is so damn small. So, do you want to truly rewire your brain for success? Then understand this. Discipline is everything. Forget motivation that's a coping mechanism and just quick dopamine for the weak. It vanishes the second shit gets hard. Discipline, on the other hand, is the operating system of gods among men. When discipline is your master, your feelings become irrelevant. So let's get one thing crystal clear. Existence is a fight. Every single day you wake up, you're stepping onto a battlefield. And the most dangerous enemy you face is not your useless boss, not the systems, not your parents, not the haters barking online. It's that weak, whining voice inside your own head. The part of you that craves comfort, that flinches from pain, that begs you to quit and stay mediocre. And if you let that internal coward dictate terms, you lose. History wasn't written by weak-minded losers. It was hammered out by warriors who carved nations with steel, and the leaders whose will shaped the world. You think Alexander the Great was scrolling through garbage on his phone? You think the Spartans were whining about microaggressions? Hell no. They conditioned their bodies and minds into instruments of pure will. They didn't hope for dominance. They seized it through brutal, unmatched discipline. And that's your only path. Cut out the noise, the mindless scrolling, the energy-sucking losers who offer nothing but drag. Your mind is the command center. Defend its gates like your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. Your feelings mean absolutely zero. Feeling sad or tired is irrelevant. Get over it. Do you think winners operate based on mood? Let me tell you how I operate. When I don't feel like grinding, the grind still happens anyway. When life throws a knockout punch, eat it and stand the fuck up and counter with devastating force. Why? Because surrender is not in my vocabulary. Most of you float through life thinking you've got forever. Wake up. Every second you flush down the toilet scrolling nonsense is a lifespan you just permanently torched. And trust me, one day you'll be old, broken, choking on a lifetime of what-ifs. Realizing you waited for a green light that never existed. Are you still waiting for the perfect time? Let me shatter that illusion. The perfect time is a myth fed to sheep. That weak voice whispering later is the enemy within, programming you for failure, keeping you chained to mediocrity. Tomorrow is where dreams go to rot. So make the choice. This instant seize command of your destiny, or accept your fate as stagnant, powerless, and forgotten. You want the crown? Then start acting like the king today. Think like him. Execute like him. Become him. Success isn't handed out. It's earned by the man who radiates worthiness before the prize arrives. Forget shortcuts. That's delusion for the weak-willed. The reality is that relentless grind is the only path. Walk it or get left behind. Let me ask you directly, how much more time are you planning to burn? How many more weeks, months, years are you going to let bleed away before you finally wake the fuck up? Before you grasp the cold, hard truth, nobody is coming to save you. Forget superheroes, miracles, and the lucky breaks changing everything overnight. That's delusion for infants. Do you want to win? Then make the conscious choice right now to become utterly relentless, to be forged in discipline, and to transform into an unstoppable force of nature that gets what it wants. And let's get this straight. This has zero to do with luck or God-given talent. This is about embodying the spirit that refuses defeat. Picture this: a weak-minded, lazy fool with every advantage imaginable, gold platters and open doors. He is guaranteed to fumble it into failure. Why? Because his internal world is garbage. No self-belief, zero discipline, folds like cheap cardboard when pressure hits. Now take the opposite, a man whose mind is forged steel, a sharpened weapon. Throw him into the deepest pit, strip him bare, burn everything around him, and witness what happens. He doesn't just climb out, he emerges stronger. Not because the pit was easy, but because his will is unbreakable. His programming doesn't allow failure as an option. You think life's not fair? Good. Its whole existence is a crucible designed to separate the steel from the scrap metal. And you're failing the test because you are constantly sniffing around for some easy button that flat out doesn't exist. Let me be blunt. Easy Street is a fantasy. Shortcuts are lies you tell yourself. Everything truly valuable, like real power, earned respect, and serious wealth, demands a price. It's meant to be brutal, because that very process, that painful forge, is what hammers mediocrity into mastery. My inbox is a cesspool of grown men, whining. Tate, life's stacked against me. Tate, I'm struggling. Tate, give me the magic fix. It's pathetic. You want my earth-shattering secret answer? Do more work and stop twisting yourself into pretzels, searching for some complicated escape hatch. This is basic cause and effect. Your wallet is empty? Then generate more damn cash. Your body is weak? Then force it to grow stronger in the gym. Your mind is scattered? Then lock onto a mission and execute. Every single one of your problems dissolves when confronted with the same, boring, brutal solution that is discipline. Internalize this because it's crucial. Nobody gives a damn about hard life. It means absolutely nothing to the world. 0 sympathy points are awarded. Reality operates on this one metric that is results. A cold, hard, undeniable proof of action. If you don't have any, then you're invisible. It doesn't matter if you're smart, talented, or have potentials. That's all just vapor without execution. If you aren't producing, you are nothing. Look around. Some of you are trapped in the same damn loop as the past 10 years. Same dead-end job, same pathetic bank balance, same recurring failures. Why? Because you lack the spine to take command. Because the second pressure mounts, you fold. You manufacture bullshit excuses and postpone actions. Then you sit there, genuinely baffled, wondering why your life is still a stagnant cesspool. Listen closely. Success couldn't care less about your mood. The universe only understands one language: action. And winners operate like machines programmed for the objective. They execute while you hesitate. They grind while you complain. They achieve while you dream. You have absolutely no concept of the power locked inside your own skull. None, because you've never had the guts to push it past the comfortable setting. Never gone all in with no escape path. Never stared down a situation where failure meant annihilation. You've always played it safe. And that's why you're average, because you haven't demanded excellence from yourself. You've only hoped for it. And here is a quick reality check you need to come to peace with. Your passive wishing needs to end today. Forget the self-help noise and the endless scrolling for secrets. What matters is the cold, hard choice you make right now. Decide to eliminate the pathetic weakness holding you back. Decide to obliterate the excuse machine in your head. It's time to forge an unbreakable mind, lethal discipline, and dictate your own terms to reality. Because get this straight, when your mind is your weapon, nothing stops you. When you silence the internal whining, the fear, the doubt, the softness, and install pure, relentless focus and discipline, you become shatterproof. You will advance relentlessly. You will engineer victory and simply outgrind every single thing in your path. So keep this fundamental truth in your mind. Reality rewards strength and discipline. It belongs to those who simply will not break. Now the raw question hits you. Do you have that fire? Or are you content being a simple background secondary character? Because make no mistake, without that core of steel, you're destined to remain precisely here, trapped, ineffective, and ultimately insignificant. So imagine the end game, looking back, poisoned by regret, knowing greatness was possible but your own weakness sabotaged it. You should be like me. I refuse that destiny. And if you've got an ounce of pride left, you damn well better refuse it too. So are you still locked in? Good. That means the flicker of truth is finally cutting through the noise. You're recognizing the lies you've swallowed, the sheer waste of your potential, hiding, begging for permission, blaming everything but yourself, expecting a handout from fate instead of commanding your reality. Here's the harsh truth. The weak-minded never breaks formation. They don't escape. They shuffle through the same hollow, predictable routine day after pathetic day, then cease to exist, completely blind to the absolute dominion they could have seized over their own lives. And you know what's the root cause for all this? It's simple. Their own mind has them collared and leashed. The NPC male operates inside a cage he built himself, constructed from pure apathy, cemented by cowardice, reinforced by a constant whine of reasons why he fails. His impulses command him. His attention span is non-existent, hijacked by any flashing light. The Matrix dictates his every boundary, his permitted thoughts, his neutered beliefs. And then this clown has the audacity to wonder why his existence is hollow. So here's the brutal bottom line. Which category do you fall into? The man shackled by his own shortcomings? Or the one who refuses the leash, who spits on the idea of being just average? Because make no mistake, either you dominate your own mind, lock it down tight, or someone else will reprogram it for their own agenda. You think I'm exaggerating? Look around you. It's crawling with men meticulously conditioned to believe mediocrity is the peak, that being soft is enlightened, that failure is just some unavoidable tax on living. Failure is a conscious choice. If you keep choosing, then expect nothing but continued losses stacking up against you. Let me drill this into your skull. Maybe it'll finally stick. Being a winner doesn't care about your mood. It demands execution. Your feelings are just an irrelevant noise. Champions don't give a damn about being tired. They don't wait for inspirations to strike. They don't whine when it gets tough. They push through. They act. The weak-minded, on the other hand, are slaves to their internal whinging. Ooh, I don't feel like hitting the gym. I don't feel like mastering that skill. I don't feel like putting in the work. Congratulations, that's your loser anthem. That's the reason you're sitting at 0. That's why your life is a joke. Because you operate like a child demanding everything to be handed to you on a silver platter, crying when reality requires actual effort. So wake up. This world isn't designed for your ease. It's a constant battleground. You either develop the raw grit to advance under fire, learn to eat pain for breakfast, take absolute control of your own damn mind, or you get steamrolled. Your money and intelligence are useless decorations if your mind folds under pressure. You won't last. Look at the men who forged history. Do you think there were some lazy snowflakes sitting around hoping for a sign to come? Come on, don't be ridiculous. They were pure, unadulterated forces. They executed relentlessly. That's the only model that works, and the weapon you need to become. You need to evolve into pure execution. An unstoppable entity. A mind so diamond-hard, so laser-focused, it simply cannot be derailed by suffering, by defeat, or by obstacles. Your mind becomes your primary weapon, so hone it with brutal intensity, like preparing for war. This means zero tolerance for distractions. Eradicate the excuses and shatter your addiction to feeling comfortable with every single sunrise you need to identify the mission for the day. You lock on and unleash hell until it's done. That's the non-negotiable standard. And here's the absolute truth. Reality spits on weakness. It has zero tolerance for the lazy. It dismisses the man paralyzed by indecision, the whiner, the spectator waiting for life to happen to him. Existence rewards raw power. It respects unbreakable discipline. It favors the man who shows up and does the work consistently. Your mind is the real Colosseum. Victory and defeat are decided there. Nowhere else. Not your job. Not the weights in the gym. Not on the VIP stage. It happens in the silence between your ears. Before any action, any word, your internal script dictates the outcome. If you program yourself for failure, you get failure. And if you program yourself for domination, you dominate. But the reality is that most of you sabotage your entire day before it even begins. The moment your eyes open, your hand grabs the phone and starts to endlessly scroll, injecting pure digital garbage, negative noise, and useless opinions from absolute failures directly into your mind. Then you have the nerve to ask why you lack drive. Why can't you focus? Why are you chained to the same cycle of defeat? It's simple. You've permitted your mind to become weak and pathetic. Your mind, which should have been a lethal weapon, a precision instrument, an impenetrable fortress, is now decaying into a playground for laziness, distraction, and incompetence. So take command now. Sharpen that mental edge, or accept the chains of the pathetic mediocrity you inhabit. You want to know the difference between you and me? The second my eyes open, I seize the controls. I lock down. I dictate the narrative before the static of the world pollutes my signal. I arm myself for conflict, because that's reality. A relentless war against your own internal bitch voice and against the weakling inside begging to tap out. But you wake up and immediately hand over the keys. You let that pathetic whimper in your head call the shots every single morning. Just sleep more. It's okay to be soft today. Take the easy route, so you just obey and follow it. You let your lowest programming run the show instead of commanding it like the absolute authority. And that is the precise architecture of your failure. Get this straight. Your mind isn't your cheerleader, it's a weapon. And it demands mastery, relentless training, absolute discipline, and total control. Failing to do so will lead it to control you. And the version it defaults to is a soft, pathetic, and hooked on comfort version that will assassinate your future before it's even conceived. Do you think the conquerors waited around for the right feeling to act? Do you think they let shiny distractions derail their purpose? Absolutely not. They had diamond-hard focus and unbreakable discipline. They forged their minds into lethal instruments. That's the fundamental difference. That's precisely why they dominated. So your mission is clear. Replicate this strength. Construct mental fortifications like you're preparing for imminent war. Obliterate any flicker of weakness that whispers in your mind. When life challenges you, you must stand immovable, proving you cannot be shattered. Because grasp this. An absolute mind control makes you an unstoppable force. Pain becomes fuel. Fear becomes irrelevant, while failure remains data for the weak. You evolve into pure execution, a relentless engine of will, a man who acts decisively, who refuses to whine, and simply does not cease until every single objective is conquered. That is mind mastery. That is the dividing line between those who dominate and those who remain insignificant. So the choice lands squarely on you. Either continue being pathetic baggage or seize absolute control. Because make no mistake, if you abdicate, reality will assert dominance, and believe me, you won't enjoy its methods. Your mind is either the single most potent force you possess, your ultimate weapon, your command center, or the traitor within that guarantees your defeat. Yet most treat this powerhouse like a landfill. You mainline negativity. You let weak, whining thoughts dictate your every move. You allow any trivial distraction to shatter your focus. And then you stand there confused, asking why you consistently fail. Let me decode your current reality for you. Your reality is the direct printout of your internal mental state. If your mind is weak, then your life is pathetic. But when your mind is forged into a weapon, you wield power. Every victory, every pathetic failure, every single outcome is born right here in your mind. But the vast majority of you utterly lack command over it. You wake up instantly submitting to the same weak script, mental fog, hesitation, and softness. What's the immediate action you take? Just pawing at your phone, mainlining algorithmic garbage and celebrity gossip. Every single day, you let the external world reprogram you instead of imposing your own damn code. Then you whine about feeling lost. Of course you do. You surrendered the control panel. Now contrast that with the men who actually dominate, the real players. They refuse to let their mind be compromised, ever. The instant they wake up, they initiate mental protocols for victory. Their thoughts are locked and loaded. Their focus is absolute and unwavering. They enforce brutal border control on their mental real estate. No digital sewage allowed. No time-wasting distractions. Zero self-doubt. All that exists is the crystal clear and the cold, hard discipline of going out and claiming it by force. My inbox is choked daily with the same pathetic pleas. Tate, please help me fix my broken thinking. Tate, install discipline for me. Tate, how do I stop being such a useless coward? The answer remains unchanged. You need to cease granting access to weakness. Stop poisoning your mind with digital garbage. You need to stop the negative internal monologue and surgically remove the losers and leeches polluting your circle. You must refuse to burn mental fuel on anything that doesn't build power. Your mind is a muscle. It demands brutal conditioning. If weak thoughts are to be detected, you must immediately annihilate them. If you ever hear yourself forming an excuse, then instantly override it and force your lazy mind into action. Think of your mind as raw iron. If it's left alone, it just rusts. But when subjected to fire and a hammer, it becomes hardened steel and an unbreakable weapon. A force impervious to failure, immune to setbacks, impenetrable by negativity. And get this straight. This isn't a weekend course. This is a constant combat every single day. That weak programming inside you will fight back, trying to drag you back into the comfort of failure, fear, and pathetic habits. You must wage war relentlessly, second by second, until control is absolute, until discipline is your default setting, until you operate as a man of pure execution with zero hesitation, zero complaint, zero pause, until the objective is crushed and claimed. So here's the brutal reality that separates the lions from the sheep. Lions dictate terms to their feelings, while sheep obey them. Lions lock onto the target and ignore noises, while sheep get derailed by every whim. Lions strike now indifferent to mood or perfect moments, while sheep just marinate in useless daydreams. So the ultimate question that lands is, which pathetic category defines you? Are you content being mentally enslaved, dictated by your own cowardice and weakness? Or are you finally ready to grab the controls? Because understand this, the second you stop making excuses, silence the distractions, deny negativity, the moment you do that is the moment that is the genesis of your real power. Your mind houses the master key. You either choose to wield it or be broken by it. You and only you make the call.